Hi, I'm Trayford Jenkins.
And I'm Eva Jenkins.
And together we are Powerhouse Couple.
And today we're going to talk about how God brought us together.
Wow, it's really truly a fascinating story, and just the power of prayer and the goodness and the grace of God. Well, we all know the single life is such a difficult life. It is so hard to navigate who we should date, when we should date, is this the one, in these different areas. And just like you, I was in that same boat. Going through my singleness, I dated, and each time I dated, I really felt some special things about that person. I thought that they were the one. Come to find out, they weren't the one. And I really came to the end of myself and realized that I had no capacity at all to find my mates. And this is when, on August 13, 2013, that I actually just sought the Lord completely. I heard a powerful sermon about boldly coming before the Lord, making your requests known, and believing and receiving, if it's according to God's will, what you're asking for. And so I asked God to bring me my wife by December 31st of that year. And I also told the Lord that there's nothing that's too hard for you. And that's what Jeremiah 32:17 says. There's nothing too hard for the Lord.
And I started praying for my husband in November 2013. And I was in the same boat. I had thought that I could pick my mate and that, each guy that I was with was the one for me. But in actuality, they weren't.
Right. I mean, I had even resorted to online dating. I'm thinking, well, you see these commercials like they say, hey, you can find your match on there. And I'm thinking I could just create this awesome page to give God glory, and boom, it'll happen. And, and I did. I met someone who's an awesome woman of God, but it wasn't the woman of God that God had planned for me. And at that point, that's when I said, okay, I'm done. I'm done trying to do things in my own strength, and I'm truly prepared to allow the Lord to bring me my wife when it's in His time. And so after I made this bold prayer, so now as the year was sort of unfolding, I was telling my friends, especially my close friends, what the Lord was going to do for me. I was just walking in this expectancy of God's provision to bring me a wife. And it was on December 30th, which was really a day before what I asked the Lord to do. And I knew that the Lord could do it, but it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And I pretty much had accepted that, hey, this will happen at a later time. And so I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I know you can do it, but it's your will, not mine. And so I just assumed maybe the Lord wanted me to finish graduate school first. So pretty much I was, pretty much I was just finished, with this prayer. I just thought that the Lord would do it in His timing. And then all of a sudden, I get a message on Facebook from a friend of mine of church with a picture of Eva. And he's asking me, do you know this woman? That's what the message is. It goes, do you know this woman with a picture? And I'm thinking, that is weird. So I answered back, I go, no, I don't know her. And he told me, well, I thought you may know her because she speaks at the rescue mission, and she has a heart for the homeless, and I know you have your homeless ministry, and you just thought maybe we knew each other since we both had the same passion in this area. And I told him, no, I don't know her, and I asked him, well, what's her name? And he gave me her name, and he got me a little bit curious about her, and so I looked her up on Facebook. And the funny thing is, it was the same picture that he sent me. It was the same picture, it was her profile picture on Facebook, so I could identify her right away. So I briefly looked at her page and saw that she definitely is a Christian, and so I just sent her a friend request, really not thinking about anything else. I try to friend as many believers as I can, and so after I sent her a friend request, I thought nothing else of it. And then all of a sudden, once you friend someone, you start seeing their posts. And when I saw her post, she had posted that there was this Limitless conference that was going on. And I was thinking, wow, that sounds awesome. So I sent her a message asking her about the conference. And she told me a little bit about it and told me that I should go. So I told her, I said, you know what, I might go. Anyways, I decided to go. And once I was at the conference, I saw her. But I didn't truly come there to meet her. I came for the conference, so I had no plans at all, and even really speaking to her. Anyways, she saw me. She came over and introduced herself and really gave me a nice, warm welcome, and told me that she was one of the speakers and that she was glad that I came and hoped I had a good time. Very brief, and I thought, well, that was really nice, and I had an awesome time. I got to hear her testimony and what the Lord has done in her life, and it was powerful. And I had so much fun that I really intended on coming back for the second night. And as I left, this was so awesome. As I left and got into my truck, the Lord spoke to me in such a profound and vivid way. And he told me that Eva is going to be my wife. And immediately I broke down in tears. I just was so amazed and so shocked. And so I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if this is true, I want you to bring her to me. And so the second night that I showed up, as soon as I got to the door, a young lady spoke to me and said, excuse me, sir, I just want you to know that Eva is single. So I was like, okay. And I walked a little bit further, I was heading to my seat, and another young lady told me, I said, excuse me, and told me that Eva was single.
And my friends do not be pawning me off like that.
And then I saw Eva, and then she said, oh, hey, you came back. And I said, yeah, I had a great time. And she says, well, I'm not speaking tonight, so I'll sit with you. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a little bit awkward because I'm waiting for the Lord to bring her to me, but at the same time, I don't want to be rude and mean and not speak to her. So I sat with her, and I tried to really not get into deep conversations with her. And so at the end of the second night of the Limitless Conference, I was speaking with the pastor. We actually went back into his study, and we had such a great time talking, and I think we were about there maybe an hour and a half. Well, when we came out, everyone had left. And so I'm thinking, well, I need to at least say something to Eva. So I sent her a message on Facebook, thanking her for the invitation, told her I had a great time, and I asked her to give me a call.
And so when I saw that message on Facebook, my immediate thought was, well, if I don't call him now, I won't ever probably call him. So I knew that right away I needed to act upon it. And I ended up calling him, and we were having such a wonderful conversation that I asked him to church the next day. And from there, he asked me to lunch. And as we were just talking, I could really just see everything that he went through, I was going through in life, and how we both attended the same university at Lincoln Christian University, how we both have the same gift of healing, how we both have a care for the homeless, and really started living out our calling that God has put in our lives to start preaching. So it was just wonderful just hearing all these things, because I was like, I feel like you're my husband right now. Like, everything he was going through, it was just like an equally yoked partner that the Bible talks about. And so I told him, I know I might sound crazy, but I feel like you're my husband.
And at that point, I truly wasn't shocked, because I truly believed that when the Lord told me that this was really true. However, what I didn't know is that I would find out so fast from her perspective. I thought that we would strike up a friendship, and maybe a year or two later, maybe she would fall for me, and God would reveal it to her. But I was so surprised that God would reveal it to her so soon. And so after she told me that I believe that God is telling me that you're going to be my husband, I looked at her and I said, well, I have something to tell you as well. The first night, I told her that, well, I've been praying for my wife since August of this year. And I told her that the first night after the conference, when I left, that the Lord spoke to me and told me that she would be my wife. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of looked at each other and just had this big smile on our faces. And I told her, I said, well, I guess since we're going to be getting married one day, we should get to know each other. And I guess the rest is history.
If you have any questions or comments, or would like to share your testimony, you can reach us at godspowerhousecouple@gmail.com.
Take care and God bless. We'll see you soon.
Bye.